It's not possible.
I didn't say it would be easy, Neo.
We don't have no. This is yours.
Yeah, that's mine.
So. Michael, blue water. Blue water, too. I think it's not way it's so. Okay, good morning.
Morning.
We will be reopening at Angola. This hearing will be on Michael Lloyd Jones. Is anyone here to speak on behalf of Mr. Jones? Please identify yourself.
Is there anyone with you, Mr. Freeman?
Nobody's with me, Warden Powell, who please have for your audience, all of them introduce themselves.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Tell me if you'll speak tonight.
I'm his father, Michael Dixon.
And you're speaking, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Michelle Jones, his sister.
Are you speaking?
Yes. Sir.
Okay.
Daniel Ambrose, his cousin and also employer.
And you're gonna be speaking too, correct, Ms. Tambo?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and is Mr. Lonnie Jones there?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Jones will know the parent support, and Michael Jones. I don't know if he's there or not, but
He is. Yes,
he's
sir.
a son and he's also there in support. When you come up to speak, name your relationship to the offender, okay? I don't see anyone in opposition here this morning. So let me put some information in the record and we'll get started. Okay, Mr. Jones.
Yes, sir.
Sentenced to life in prison for habitual offender simple burglary and habitual offender for a firearm. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I should have stated, my name is Pete Freeman. I'll be the chair today. And with me is Mr. Prater and Ms. Ledoux. We also have Ms. Singleton here in observation to learn today so she can teach us some stuff. Okay, so let's get started. Mr. Prater.
Yes, sir. Mr. Jones, how are you today?
Great, sir.
I wanted to ask you, you're in jail right now for simple burglary of an inhabited dwelling, and that occurred in 2009. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you were originally charged with aggravated burglary, correct? And you pled to simple burglary, correct?
Yes, sir. Well, I got found guilty of a lesser verdict at trial.
Okay, you were found guilty, but you were also found guilty of felon in possession of a firearm, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the firearm that you were found guilty of, did it come from the burglary?
Yes, sir.
So in fact, even though they found you guilty of simple burglary of an inhabited dwelling, it was an aggravated burglary. In my view, if you got a gun from there, correct? I mean, it's just one of the elements of the crime, but the jury chose to not put that on you, correct?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, and then you were multiple bill, and that's where you got the life sentence on the multiple bill.
Yes.
because of the fact that of your previous, and I've got a list of your previous charges. Possession with intent, crack cocaine of 6 counts. And then another time possession with intent of cocaine. That's a different than the 6 counts on crack. Possession of cocaine, which is different, disturbing the peace. And you've been out, you were allowed to, one time out on probation and that was revoked. And 2 times you were on parole and both of those were revoked. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All that led up to the multiple bill. Have I got all those facts correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, your last infraction that I could find was in 2022, and that was for aggravated disobedience, and you were written up for that in jail. What caused that?
Well, sir, I was, and I take responsibility for the incident, but I was living in the back of the dormitory, and the officers, they rotate the doors going outside. When you go in the yard, they rotate the doors. So the officer was going to shut the door, and I was running from the back of the dorm to go work out. I pushed the door to try to stop her to get out the dormitory, and she hit the beeper, say that I pushed the door and tried to knock her down, which I did use force on the door. And I take full responsibility that I did. And I mean, there's no excuse. There's no excuse for it. I used a little too much force trying to get out of the door. So
Okay.
that's how.
All right, and that kind of like the burglary where you kick the door in, right?
I mean,
We have a problem with these doors, don't we?
yes, sir.
Well, how do I mean, you're wanting to get out of jail and you got 12 years on the burglary, but in fact, that was a simple burglary, and because of the simple burglary, it wasn't a violent crime, considered a violent crime, although you did take a gun, which made it ag burglary, which is a violent crime, but that's not what the jury found you guilty of. 15 years on felony with the possession of the firearm that you got from the burglary, and then the multiple bill. Tell me, and then you get out, and 3 different times you're given a chance, and you violate your probation, and twice you violate your parole. Tell me how come, convince me I can trust Michael Jones.
I was young. I was very immature. I was misled in my thinking pattern concerning life growing up. So, I mean, I matured a lot since then, and I understand slowing down and just really thinking about what you're thinking about, period. Just, I mean, like I said, I have matured a lot. And I know there's no excuse for my past and the things that I've done, but I mean, I know risk factors now. I understand the risk factors and just slowing down your thinking process, period, and not allowing my actions. So my thought process, I know now that the things that I think about, not allowing my feelings to make me feel like I got to act on things and cause negative consequences, cause unwanted consequences in life, period. Because I understand when you victimizing somebody and traumatizing people and society as a whole. So I'm not that person anymore. And like I said, I was misled growing up in the society that I grew up in, and thinking that, following the trends and the things that go on, in society. And I have learned a lot throughout this incarceration, and I have wisened up a lot, because the self-help classes that I actually took them serious. So, and I learned from thinking for a change. At first I had anger management as my top priority, trying to really control my anger. But once I got into not victim awareness, thinking for a change, And I kind of learned a little bit about victim awareness too. But when thinking for a change, I learned the risk factors in your thought process.
Let me stop you just a minute, Mr. Jones. And all that's interesting, and I listened to it very carefully. And you're getting into your statement later that you'll be able to give. And so we'll hear that. I just was asking for just a short, why should I trust you deal? So why don't you say what you're saying now in the essence of time, and you'll be able to say it in conclusion, you'll have a chance to give a longer statement, okay?
All right. But I grew out of that, sir. I really grew out of the immature stage that I was in. And I know better. I take life more seriously now. You know, me being an older man, I know, you know, I mean, I really want to change. I really want to change for the better for my family, for my son. You know, I really want to be able to spend time with my family again. So the things that I learned, I took it serious as far as changing my life and really trying to do better in life, period.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Jones. That's all I have.
You have any questions, Ms. Liddell?
I was interested in finding out, you've been back and forth to the hospital a couple of times recently.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me about that situation?
Well, I was, excuse me for laughing, but I had got into working out a lot, and I used to be trying to work heavy when I couldn't handle the heavy weights, and I was, well, the weights chained down on the iron pod, the weights chained down to the bench. So when you grab the dumbbells, you're not free with them. And I was trying to show off with one of the guys that I was working out with the 80-pound dumbbells. And the chain snatched on the bench, and it slipped and hit me. One of them slipped. One of the dumbbells slipped and hit me across my chin, and it broke my jaw and caused I had to get 2 plates in my jaw. So that was one of them. But the first one.
Okay.
Okay.
So what was the first one was related to working out too, or?
No, ma'am. That was actually a altercation that I had got in. That one was an actual altercation with another offender that I had got in.
That one.
Was weapons used in that altercation?
No, sir. I was just in a cell. We was in a cell. I was in a cell at the time on administrative segregation, and we got into it in the cells. And I was cornered. I had my back towards the urinal right there in the cell. So he just really got the best of me, and he broke my jaw.
Okay. I don't have any further questions.
I have one question. What were contrabands for?
Cell phones, sir.
All of them were cell phones, none of them were drugs.
No, sir. They were cell phones.
Have you ever busted out on a drug test while you've been there?
On a dirty urine? No, sir.
Yeah.
No, sir.
I have no further questions. Okay, now we're gonna let the people speak that are here on your behalf. First one will be Miss Michelle Jones, sister.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Michelle Jones. I'm Michael Jones' sister. I'm right. Well, me and Michael is 364 days apart. So I basically grew up under him very, very close. We're still close to this day. We did grow up in a hard life, and we had to figure things out on our own, and it wasn't easy. Me as a woman, I never been to jail, thank God, but it was very hard. We had to raise ourselves. We basically raised ourselves, figured life out on our own. And throughout the years, Michael being here, the 15 years, I've been very close to him, calling him, well, he calling me writing him, sending him money on his books and things like that, and talking with him, I can see a whole difference within him. And, I myself told him things on how I overcame, anger issues, because we were angry because, we didn't have parents at the time really in our life when we needed them, and we had to figure it all out on our own, surviving financially, physically, mentally, everything. So, throughout the years, I told him how I overcame out of the things that I overcame, and I seen a big difference in talking to him. He helped me out with things I was dealing with at, certain times throughout the years. And I do see a bigger change in him. And it is possible, that he can get out here and do better for himself. I did better for myself. I'm a owner of a women's clothing store in Slidell, Louisiana. I've been there 7 years. One son, 31 years old, a 5-year-old grandbaby, so I know that it is possibility that throughout your past, you can come back and even better. And I know and see it within him that he has that change in him. Our family, despite what we went through, my whole family, I see and know have good hearts. And we're not the type of people to go out to try to hurting anybody. But sometimes, anger do get the best of you. And when you're young, you don't know no better. But when you get older, you can see the consequences. And throughout those years, I seen within him, he hurt it a lot of years not being there. We just lost 2 siblings, 2 brothers. He's my last brother I have. I lost a 24-year-old brother the year before last, and a 50-year-old brother from COVID in 2020. So this is my last brother. My family is real, real small, and I see the difference in him, and I know he want to be out here to his only son, to get to know him. He lost a whole lot of years in his life, but I know and I see that, with whatever he been doing with the classes and things like that, and with God help, and I know he's deep into religion, that he's going to get out here and be a better person. And I'm quite sure, with my help, I'm going to be by his side as I have been these 15 years to make sure that he do that, because we're older now. I'll be 47, he be about 46. We always been close in age and close, knitted. So I'm willing and going to make sure that he gets wherever, housing, jobs, whatever he needs done, clothing, financially, I'm going to be here for him, as I always has been these last 15 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Danny Ambrose, cousin.
Should I stand or?
Oh, you can stay right there.
Louder, don't you speak loudly.
Hey, I'm Daniel Ambrose. I'm Michael Jones' cousin. And actually, me and his sister Michelle are the same age. And just to reiterate what she said, we grew up a little different. I mean, well, I had my mom and dad, and who was also a part of, their life much as they can be. And just growing up, we didn't have a lot of options. We didn't have the things that we have and we understand now. Right now, I am the business agent of Local 39, Ayati, the Stagehands Union. And with Michael, we talk a lot. And I also know that it's things that I can help with in society. I'm eligible to get them certified for over 12 different heavy operating equipment machines. I do all the hiring at the New Orleans Convention Center for the Stagehands and also Teamsters Union. So with employment, he have options. His sister's an entrepreneur. I'm also an entrepreneur. I own a dealership. And I really didn't know he was doing a body work. I didn't know he got certified, but he told me about it. And we talked about it a while ago when I opened up my dealership, because I have sometimes cars that come wrecked. So even with that, I'm proud to see that. And I know Michael's changed a lot. I know he has. And like I said, the opportunities wasn't there. So we went off survival instincts. And as we grew and we understood, and we were born into other families that had a little more education and had a little more things that was gone from, then we understood and we saw better. But Michael didn't have a chance to get those things. So we started bringing it to him. And what he was learning in prison, he actually educated me on a lot of things that helped me in society. And he wasn't even there, and he helped me. So he's a big reason why I am who I am today with Local 39 being a business agent. So I just want to thank you all, the council, and I want to thank Michael in front of everybody, because I never thanked him for me being where I'm at.
Yeah,
He really did a lot. So, but thank y'all, council. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Dixon.
Yes, sir. I'm Michael Dixon, his father. I just want to say, when Michael was coming up, me and him used to go cut grass together. You know, Michael used to go to Win Dixon and bring people groceries to the cars and bring the money home to his mother. He is a good guy. And I want to try. I work offshore. I'm a cook offshore. And I want to try, if he don't get a job with his cousin, I was going to bring him offshore to cook offshore with me. And I just hope he get home so he, all this could happen. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, real quickly, I saw in some of the comments that there were some victims that commented. Is anyone on this telecast that would like to speak? Any victims of opposition?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Also would like to for the record, and there's nothing you can do about this, Michael, but this is the recommendations from the DA and people of that nature. Let's see. The judge didn't comment. District attorney didn't comment. The sheriff didn't comment. The chief superintendent is opposed. And the victim, one of the victims in this matter, is also opposed. I think that's all we were able to contact. Okay, so now it's time to wrap it up, Michael. Wait, Warden, do you have any comments? Warden Falgout?
The only thing and I'm not sure if you guys have this, he did complete thinking for a change in January of 24. I don't know if that made the record for you guys or not. Other than that, no, I don't have anything to add.
Thank you, Teresa. Okay, Mr. Jones, would you like to make a statement on your own behalf?
Just apologizing to the victim, Miss Keandra. I mean, I understand now, like I was saying previously, I understand the trauma that you cause when you victimize somebody. And, you know, when that crime was committed, I was immature and didn't know any, well, I can't say didn't know any better because I was of age, but I was misled in the wrong thinking pattern. And I mean, like I said previously, I just want to send my deepest. I never know the amount of trauma, how deep that the trauma was with her and her family, and I don't know. I can never imagine how much it is, but I do. Even if the wounds is still fresh in her heart, with her, I just want to let her know that my sorrows are multiplied because I was the one that caused her that great pain. So I just want to apologize from my heart for real. And hopefully, you know, she can forgive me for my actions in that situation. And that's all I got, sir.
Okay, thank you. Is the board prepared to vote?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Prater, you vote first.
I think because of, Michael, because of the number of crimes that you've committed in the past throughout your life, and the fact that you did commit this terrible crime of really a home invasion almost, or it was a home invasion. You broke in, kicked the door in, did all of these things. And then a big thing to me is the 2 times on parole that you busted out, and 1 time on probation you busted out. And so that coupled with in 2022, less than 2 years ago, or around 2 years ago, the deal with rushing through the door. You were trying to get through something, you didn't come hell or high water, you going through that door. And that's indicative there of somebody that doesn't have a good control of themselves in this situation. So all those things combined, I'm voting to deny at this particular time, not to cut you off from trying again, but I want some more time between your last disobedience, your last write-up. I want some more time in there to show that you really have changed. So I'm voting to deny.
Mr. Jones, Mr. Jones, I have found that the programming Thinking for Change is one of the most valuable tools that we offer to our inmates, allowing them to really start to put some tools in their toolbox. I want to encourage you to write back for another chance, but my vote today is to deny. I really do believe you're on the right track. I think you need a little bit more time to mature and to understand the consequences of some of your choices. So today my vote is to deny.
Okay. All right, Mr. Jones, you've already received 2 votes to deny, so you know the outcome today. My vote would also been to deny at this time. I do feel like you're headed in the right direction. I think you should reapply as soon as possible and stay right up free before you come back, okay? So
Yes, sir.
that's my vote today. I think you're gonna have a shot at it, so don't let this deter you, okay? Thank you.
Thank you.